Shalom to you, my friends. My name is Isaac from Trego Studios Academy, and in this tutorial I want to show you how you can record from your mixer into your computer. Alright, so maybe you went for a show or you went for a program, maybe you're a band and you want to record your music or your recordings, and perhaps where you are ministering or where you're worshiping do not have provision for recording, but you want to record a separate mix down of your presentation, either in songs or in message, whatever it is that you want to record. I'm going to show you how you can record that. So every mixer has a main output. Alright, so out of the main output, some will be used to feed the speakers. Auxiliary outputs will be used to feed the monitors and things like that. So basically, on a standard mixer like this, you are likely to find 4 main outputs. 2 of them is XLR output and 2 of them is jack output. So left, right, left, right. So now if you're having a stereo mix, it is likely that the left and the right will be exhausted, at least for the main speakers. All right, so that will leave you with the jack outputs, the left and the right jack output. Or if it is the jack output that they are using and it is a stereo mix, they will use the left and the right output. All right, but most times in a live event, you usually have a mono mix. That is, there's no need for panning one instrument to the left or panning another to the right. So most times you have a mono mix, especially in small events. So that means you can take any of the 4 main output outlets that you have and you will still have a clean recording of your production. All right, so if the speaker is already taking 1 or 2 channels, you are left with 2 channels to work with, and you just need 1 channel for you to be able to record, especially for a mono mix. All right, now how do you record? So say for instance, I'm recording right now. I'm actually recording through this mixer. All right, the voice you're hearing is coming out of this mixer. All right, so now I am taking this channel from the right output, which is the XLR output. The right fader here, if I reduce it, you'll notice that my voice actually reduces, and as I increase it, you'll notice that my voice actually increases. All right, so that is how it works. So what is the principle behind this setup? If all the signals has entered through each of these channels, all of them are going to come out through the main outputs. I told you have 4 main outputs here. You can choose any of these 4 to record. I'm taking one of the main outputs. All right, in this case I'm taking the right channel with my XLR cable. This is my XLR cable. It comes out of the right channel, the main output right channel, and goes into the first channel of my audio interface or sound card. All right, again I'm going to repeat that. I plug in my XLR cable. It comes out of the main output of the mixer and goes into the first channel of my sound card. I'm still going to show you how I set up the laptop for you to be able to read the sound card so that you can now record.
Alright, let me quickly show you how you can record on your computer, how you're going to set up your recording software on your computer. I'm going to demonstrate with Audition and Audacity. Audacity is a free software. You can download it, just search it on Google and download. You can use it to record, or if you have money you can purchase Adobe Audition. Alright, so starting with Audacity, I will search for the software on my computer. Alright, so depending on the version of Audacity you downloaded, if it's a more recent version, it might not look exactly like this, but the setup is basically the same. So the major thing you want to do is to set up your recording device. Ensure that your sound card is the recording device. So ordinarily on Audition's Audacity software, you will see this icon, this recording icon. There you can select the device you are using to record. Every device that can be used to record will be displayed there. So presently it is only my Behringer UMC 202 HD sound card that is displayed here. So if you do not find your sound card display there, perhaps you have to download the drivers that will make it display on your computer. Alright, the other alternative to selecting this, in case you do not see this in your own version of Audacity, is to go to Edit, go to Preferences, and then when you go to Preferences, you come to the devices. So you have a playback device, you have the recording device. So make sure that your recording device is set to your device which you want to use to record. That is the device that is receiving the signal from the mixer. So in this case, it's the Behringer EMC202HD. So, and then I press OK. So once this is confirmed, you can start monitoring. Just as you can see that the recording meter is reading that it is monitoring. So the next thing you want to do is you want to choose the recording channel. Do you want to record mono or stereo? So because I'm using a sound card and I'm only coming out of a single, I'm only recording on one channel of the sound card, so it's best for me to choose mono, because if I choose stereo, only the left channel will be speaking, the right channel will be empty, because there is nothing plugged to the second channel of this audio interface. So I choose mono because actually it is coming in mono. Alright, so and I'm going to start recording. Once I press record, once you press record, you should see your wave starts to move on the software. So ensure that you are having a clean record. So if it is too low, you can increase it on your sound card, and if it is too high, you can reduce this on your sound card. Just make sure that your sound card is not clipping. When it is showing the red sign, it is clipping, and the sound will not be good once you play it back. So ensure that it is not clipping. And once you are done, you press stop. There's a stop icon here. Once you press stop, you go to File, go to Export. You export it as a WAV file, or if you are ready to export it as MP3, you can export it as MP3. So I usually start by exporting as WAV file, because I will need to work on my recordings later, maybe remove some things, add some things, so that it will not be the reduced quality I'm working on. So select a place to save your work, name your work, whatever you want to name it, and then press save. It's a request for this information. If you need them, you can write them. If not, just press OK. Your work will be saved in the formats that you selected. So quickly, let me show you how you can do the same on Audition, on Audition software, Adobe Audition. So once you launch the software, just like in the case of Audacity, the first thing you want to do is to ensure that you select the recording device. The first thing you want to do is to ensure that you select the recording device. So to select the recording device here, same thing, go to Edit, go to Preferences. Under Preferences, you now go to Audio Hardware. So in your input section, make sure that your input device is your sound card, which you want to use to record. Or if you have ASIO drivers installed on your computer, you can choose ASIO for your sound card. Alright, so once you just ensure that you select your particular driver that you are using just ensure you select your sound card device, your device which you want to use to record, and press OK. So before you start recording, you can right click on the meter reading here and ensure that you are getting a signal. So once you are getting a signal, you know that you are fine. Make sure it is not clipping, that is, it is not reaching the red zone, because if it reaches the red zone, it's going to be clipping and the sound won't be good, both on your sound card and even on this device, on this recording software. So to create a new file on Audition, you can just start by clicking this red icon which stands for record, or press Ctrl+Shift+N to create a new audio file, or the other option is go to File, New, and then go to Audio File, and then name your file. You can name your file ahead in Audition even before you start recording. Choose a mono file just like we did in Audacity, and then press OK. So once you start recording, you should see your signal flow into your recording software. Alright, so and once you are done recording, stop and save your file. Control S, select the place where you want to save your file. Once you find the place where you want to save your file, save it, and the format you want to save it, just like I told you the other time, I usually start with a WAV file because it maintains the quality to an extent instead of reducing the quality if I will still have to work on it again. Alright, so once you are done, you press OK, and so your work is saved. That is how you record on the software. So let's go back to the tutorial right now on how to set up.
Now, because I'm working on the right channel, I will ensure that the fader for the right channel is actually up, because if it is down, you will not be able to hear anything. But as it goes higher and you raise it up, you'll be able to hear it clearly. All right, so make sure that the channel that you're recording from, that the fader is actually up. All right, so just in case the engineer is using the left channel, you are left to the right channel to work with. If the mixer's master faders are split into left and right, so you want to ensure that the fader for the channel that you're recording from is actually up. What I mean is, I am recording from the right channel. This is the left, this is the right. I'm recording from the right channel, so this is the fader for the left, this is for the right. And make sure that this fader is up so that all the signals that is coming through each of these channels can be channeled down to this right channel, and from the right channel it goes into my audio interface or my sound card, and from the sound card into the computer. It's as simple as that. Same thing if you are using a jack cable. So the process is basically the same. So how does it work? You have your jack cable here. Assuming that I'm recording with my jack cable, I'm going to choose the left if the left is what I am free to use. I choose the left signal, and then I'll plug it in. I'll plug it into the sound card. I'm going to plug it into the sound card, so, and ensure that the signal is actually coming through. So I can say that my signal is actually coming through into this channel. So, but because I don't want to break the transmission, I put it on the second channel. So, but my recording is actually on the first channel. But I can read that the signal is coming to this sound card with the lights on. If I remove it, you'll see that there won't be light anymore because there's no signal coming through. But once I plug it, the signal is up. But you must ensure that the fader of the channel you are using, in this case the left channel, is also up, because once it goes down, you won't be able to hear anything on your sound card and nothing will be recorded on your computer. Alright, so that is how that works basically. And in case all the main outputs are gone, if all the main outputs are not available, what you are left with is either groups or auxiliary outputs. Now the problem with using either of these is that it is not what you are hearing through the main speakers that will be recorded. So, and the problem is, if your engineer is not consciously working for your recording, you might end up in a chaotic recording. What I mean by that chaotic recording is, it's possible that, for instance, if I'm taking my recording from this auxiliary output and I plug it into my sound card, now I have to control the volume for each of these channels for this auxiliary, because this auxiliary is working independent of these faders. Alright, so in case the engineer now goes to increase the auxiliary for the keyboard or the instrument, that it is overshadowing the voice, or he even forgot to increase the volume for the main or the lead singer or the main speaker. So eventually all you have in your recording is the instruments. And problem with taking your recording from the auxiliary is that you will not be able to monitor what you are recording. Of course, except you, with this sound card now, you can plug in your headset to hear the balancing. Right, so you can, once your earpiece is plugged there, for instance, if I'm taking from this auxiliary channel, I can decide to plug in my headset here So, and I can hear what is coming through. So I can demand from the engineer that, oh, give me more of the lead singer, give me more of the instruments, and then it will be increasing the auxiliary for the channel, the auxiliary channel that I am actually recording from. Do you understand? So that, but it is best that you take your recording from the main output. That is what is best. If you do not take it from your main output, you're going to be having issues with having a clean record. So in summary, again, how do you record from any mixer? All right, all the channels, the instruments, the vocalists, the backups, the lead singer, everything comes through each of these channels as an input signal, and then they flow out into the main output section of your mixer. So what you want to record is coming out from the main output section of your mixer. All right, so, and I told you that in most mixer you usually have 4 basic main output outlets. In this case, you have 2 XLR outputs and 2 jack outputs. Either of them that is free you can use to record your channel. Just take that signal, plug the right cable from that main output. In this case, I'm using an XLR cable, comes out from my right channel of the main output and then plugs into the first channel of my audio interface on my sound card. So, and I make sure that the fader of that channel that I'm recording from is set up. I can also monitor what I'm recording from the audio interface and through the waves on the recording device. All right, so that is how all of these things function. So I hope you understand what I have just said. So what you are looking for in any mixer, in any event, is the main output section. So just take your cable, plug into one of the main outputs and plug that into your audio interface. Now, in case you do not have an audio interface or a sound card, if what you have is a USB sound card, most mixer also have this RCA recording port. So you can just plug your RCA cable, into that port, plug it there, and then you plug the cable into your sound card, the recording part of the sound card, and you'll be able to record as well. Or otherwise, you can use RCA to jack. That is, plug your RCA into this RCA to jack converter, plug it in. Once you plug it in there, you can now take it from the main output, either the left or the right channel. You have a jack output, and then control the volume with the fader, and then you have a clean record, and everything is going to function properly without any issues. All right, so that is how you record. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section or reach out to me on my WhatsApp contact 070328444129. So till I come your way next time, I want you to remain faithful in the Lord's service. God bless you. Bye.